You were an editor, and then tell me about the where you went from there, because you've been here and you keep getting promoted through the ranks. Obviously, you're doing a bang up job. So tell me a little bit about what brought you to being a community correspondent
Yeah,
right now.
well, so like you said, I was a photographer and editor here for years, up until last year. And then last year we changed it up a lot of things, and I applied for a job over at the content center back there,
Hmm.
and did that for a little while, doing logistics, learning. I wanted to learn more about other than photography, how the newsroom works
Yeah,
and how to get info and how all that works.
sure.
So that was definitely a crash course. And then we started talking about having people that weren't quite reporters that could go out and shoot stuff. And
Hmm.
I said, hey, that sounds like what I want to go do, and started doing that. And then now here I am as a reporter. And
That's crazy to
yeah.
me. And it's so okay. So you're also a veteran. What about being in the Army has helped you do, or has it helped you do this job?
Well, it's helped me in one way. It helped me was that my job in the Army was public affairs broadcaster, so I did video stuff in
Okay,
the
yeah.
Army. So I was in Iraq and Afghanistan shooting video, which not a lot of young people will have on their resume. But also, it can be stressful out there as a photographer or reporter running around trying to make deadline, and um, not as stressful as being in the Army.
I
So
was going to say, you're getting video in a war zone. This is
so so
nothing.
yeah, exactly. I've been through the hard stuff already. Everything else is easy.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for your service. That's incredible. And I love that you bring that experience here to News 6, because I really have seen you use it to the best of your ability. And you've been able to shine, because I don't know if you ever had aspirations of being in front of the camera, but man, you're killing it, right? And so the other thing too is what people should know about the community correspondents. All of you guys are such hard workers, but you're also a part of the community in which you live, right? You're mostly Seminole County, but tonight you were in DeLand reporting on that. The other thing I hope people know is that here at News 6, we treat each other with such respect. And the thing I remember about you is, even after your promotion, your big promotion, I left you don't know what I'm going to say. I left my IFB back at the station because I needed it for a live shot and I didn't have it. You, without hesitation, said, I'll drive it to her. I mean, it makes my eyes well up, because you're busy, but you took the time to come out, drive it to me about 15 minutes away. And that doesn't seem like very far, but you still had to take time out of your day to do that. So I just hope people realize that when they see you guys out in the community, this is the kind of person you're getting. Someone who if they care about us like that behind the scenes and nobody knows about it, they really take care with your stories and telling it the right way. And that's what I've seen you do and really shine at doing. Have you found yourself enjoying it more than you thought you would?
Yeah, definitely. I love being able to help people tell their stories. And when I see something in an interview that makes me smile or makes me feel good, and then I'm able to share that with other people,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of this job, is the power of that. And making a difference. If somebody, a hit and run victim has a GoFundMe, we
Hmm.
share that, draw some attention to it. So being able to help in those small ways just by using our platform to share those stories is really fulfilling.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize, they think, oh my gosh, you do a story and you forget about it. But you come back, you did a story about Inspire, and it was about adults with disabilities who go through job training. You got me to host their fundraiser because that story was so stinking good. I'm like, I just want to be a part of that community and
Yeah, that
see.
was very nice of you to do
It
that.
wasn't nice. It was necessary. I had to be a part of that.
But
So
yeah, those things, they warm our hearts, and we're able to share them with other people. So
yeah, well, I hope that your bosses, your new bosses, tell you that you are doing a phenomenal job, because you really are making us all proud and going out in the community. And every time I see a story that I love and you come back, I go, Alex, great job. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't take that as an insult that I think he's doing a great job, because, with your wealth of experience, you put it all together, and this is what you get. You get a great community correspondent. So I hope people appreciate you out in the community. I know I do, and
well,
the rest of
thank
us
you.
do.
And it's awesome to have that support from everyone
Yeah,
here.
of
So
course,
it
of
feels
course.
awesome.
All right, we're going to move on.
I saw people complaining online that Scout takes too long to show up and that it's more expensive than riding the bus. So I decided to book a ride myself and see just how long it takes and if it's worth the cost. $9.50 is the quoted rate. I'll be submitting that expense report to News 6. Almost there. We're getting your ride ready. Looking for a driver. Jeanette has 6 stops before you and will be arriving in 90 to 100 minutes. So these messages that tell me how long the wait is obviously keep changing and can't really be relied on. Getting close. That's me.
I requested the ride at 1:58 p.m. At 3:34, the Scout Shuttle finally showed up. That's a wait time of 1 hour and 36 minutes. Once aboard, the ride to Sanford was smooth. We just had to pick up another passenger on the way.
How are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? All right.
Chuck Carpenter was taking Scout to the Sunrail station to catch a bus to DeLand. His experience waiting for the ride was just like mine.
Today was kind of difficult because I got a ride, it said 45 minutes, then it said 3 minutes, and then there was nothing. It went back up to 45 minutes.
So how long ago was it that you actually requested the ride? Like, how long did it take to show up?
An hour and 15 minutes ago,
Okay.
at least, yeah.
He says his past trips were more reliable and understands the delays.
You know, they stay busy, and I think they just need more vehicles is what they need.
I arrived in downtown Sanford at 3:57, almost exactly 2 hours after I requested the ride. How does that compare to ride-sharing apps like Uber?
At 4:17, I requested this ride. We'll see how long it takes me to get back to the Castleberry Library.
My Uber arrived in just 15 minutes, and the time tracker was perfectly accurate. It got me back to the Castleberry Library at 5:05, less than an hour after I requested it. And about half the time Scout took. Uber turned out to be much more expensive, though. The trip cost $30 plus tip, over 3 times the cost of Scout. I asked Seminole County about the delays, and they say they are unveiling new tools to make those estimated wait times more accurate and adjusting driver schedules so more shuttles are on the road during peak hours. Carpenter says today's delays won't keep him from riding.
I think it's an asset to the community, you know? Yeah, so it works out good for a lot of people. And it's affordable, you know? To get the Sunrail, they just charged me $1.50 to get the Sunrail, so it's pretty cheap.
I'm your Castleberry community correspondent, Alex Cook, News 6.
We're not supposed to be doing domestic law enforcement against Americans.
Alexander McCoy served in the Marines for 6 years as an embassy guard. He was disturbed by the news that 200 Marines were sent to Florida to support ICE.
The U.S. military is for fighting America's enemies. And if we're using it here in the United States, the implication is that Americans are enemies.
So he drafted this open letter, reading in part, "We swore an oath to the Constitution, and the law makes clear what the U.S. military is for and not for. Using Marines to participate in ICE operations on U.S. soil dishonors that oath." And he invited fellow veterans to sign.
Since McCoy sent this letter out a few days ago, over 200 veterans have signed so far, like his fellow Marine, Doug Jackson, an infantryman who deployed to Iraq in 2007.
Marines train for war, or they're going to war. And so this is not a mission that Marines want or that Marines are trained for. It's fundamentally against really who this country is and who we're supposed to be.
McCoy says he feels it's his duty as a veteran to speak for active duty troops who aren't allowed to express their own political opinions.
It's our job to be their voice and to, express what we would have felt when we were serving if we got put in this terrible situation.
The open letter now posted on flvetsletter.com with an invitation for veterans who agree to sign. In Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
I'm News 6's Alex Cook in Mineola. It all started with a tip to the newsroom from a neighbor who wanted to stay anonymous about a skeleton strip club right here on this very porch. She said it's not your typical spooky decor. This one's got skeletons in suggestive poses, a pole, and it's all out in the open where kids walk to school. So of course, we had to come see it for ourselves. Now I'm here to figure out what this means for this family-focused community and where the line gets drawn between Halloween fun and what's appropriate in neighborhoods like this.
Gabriella, who lives right across the street, says she sees it as all in good fun.
Woohoo! Na, 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 na. Woohoo! No problem. I can sit here. Let's have something fun. Woohoo!
She says her 2 kids love it too.
I have 2 kids and they like to see the skeleton. They are dancing. No problem for us.
But not everyone in the neighborhood agrees. In addition to the anonymous tip, we found heated debates on the neighborhood's social media page. One poster said, "I don't see stripping as art. Whether it's skeletons or cartoons, I wouldn't want my kids exposed to sexual innuendos." Another responded, "If you want to see it as sexual, that's your take. Does it show the skeleton removing clothes? How do you know if it's a female or male skeleton? Another neighbor said, "We live here too. This is very inappropriate." One resident even contacted the Homeowners Association, which replied, "Unfortunately, the HOA cannot do anything about this. Halloween decorations are allowed, and residents can put up whatever holiday decorations they prefer." The HOA advised that the offended neighbor should wait until Halloween is over next weekend, when the display will come down. Meanwhile, Gabriella says she's more worried about the scary, gory displays than this one.
I'm afraid when they put a lot of some scare things with no head, something like that, but this is so fun. There's no problem here.
Whether they're for or against it, neighbors in this neighborhood can expect to keep seeing this display until after Halloween. In Mineola, Alex Cook, News 6.
The big mystery about that explosion here at the Dark Line Jewelry Store is that it didn't even have gas service hooked up. Everything was electrical. Tonight, we're seeing for the first time the moments of that explosion and hearing from people who live next door. Surveillance video shows the moment that building blew up. You can see the force of the explosion blast out all the windows as a fireball shoots up into the air. A woman was inside at the time and was flown to the hospital with serious injuries. This cell phone video from just after the explosion shows smoke and flames as firefighters battle to put it out.
No, this is crazy. It's getting so much worse.
The two ladies in the office right here, in our office, they said the explosion was so loud, it about rocked them out of their chairs at their desk.
Billy Gore lives right next to Dark Line Inc. Jewelry Store. He wasn't home when it exploded, but his neighbors were.
There was just one person there, and you know, whether or not she pulls through or not, we probably won't know until she doesn't or does. But it's just lucky there was only one person in the building.
The Eustis Fire Department says that wasn't simple luck. They evacuated the block after TECO energy workers found and isolated a gas leak nearby.
If this explosion would have occurred and we didn't evacuate and close the road, obviously there could have been multiple people in the building. The evacuations worked.
The mystery of what sparked this explosion remains.
What makes this a little complicated for all of us is that the building actually doesn't have gas service to it that we know of.
Now the state fire marshal is working to figure that out, while residents hope the woman who was inside pulls through. In Eustis, Alex Cook, News 6. I'm your Castleberry community correspondent, Alex Cook, here at Big League Cards in Castleberry, where they laid out the red carpet for fans of Labubu, the little monster toy fashion craze that's taken over. Fans were dressed as Labubu, covered in Labubu, strutting the red carpet, showing their stuff, hoping to take home the big prize.
This was our long-anticipated Big League Labubu fashion show. So we have a great community. They came in here. They could bring in how their Labubus were dressed or how they wore their Labubus.
Competition was fierce as dozens of Labubu fans of all ages crammed into the small Castleberry card shop to hit the red carpet and show off their creativity and their love of the little monster dolls from China that have become all the rage.
In Penn State colors, because she just got accepted into Penn State, gonna go to medical school.
Alan Nars, the owner of Big League Cards, says there's something special about the trendy toy, which comes in a blind box, so you're never sure which one you get till you open it.
I've been in retail my whole life. I've had the store here for 32 years. Never have I seen a product that universally the reaction when they open it is always, oh, like it's like, I mean, I wish somebody would open one every time you see it. So just a lot of joy.
He never expected his card shop would become a fashion gala, but he embraced Labubu supremacy, planning events like this one, which included games, raffles, and plenty of free Labubu giveaways.
You know, there's so many bad choices, I think, in the world. And so right now you can come in and just have fun and buy your dolls and buy your cards and collect, and you can trade with each other, and it's just good fun.
After strutting their stuff on the red carpet, competitors caught up with News 6's Labubu fashion correspondent.
Who are you wearing?
I am wearing all Labubu.
How exciting was it to win?
It was so exciting. I was on the ridge of breaking down in tears.
Why do you like Labubu so much?
I like how you can there's a variety of ones you can get, and I also kind of like how they look.
For Nars and the staff at Big League Cards, community events like this are a new way to do what they've always done. Bring people together to share the joy and excitement of their favorite hobby.
We've always said we don't sell cardboard, we sell smiles, we sell fun, we sell interaction. That's our niche.
I'm your Castleberry community correspondent, Alex Cook, News 6.